Hola, mis amigos del mundo de español. Por favor, sígame para escuchar más palabras en inglés. I shouldn't be allowed to talk. Like, one day we're all gonna have cards that says I have the right to speak. We all know it. The government's gonna hand them out, and I'm not gonna get one of those cards. Anyways, so with doing YouTube and with publishing and all of this stuff, I've had to like kind of give myself a lot of breaks lately. Like, oh, that wasn't phrased the way that I wanted it to, or oh, that sounds stupid. Just, you know, let it go. I'm learning essentially how to communicate. It's kind of like giving speeches in a way. But I'm also learning like how to formulate my ideas and put them forward. Like I said, it's kind of like giving speeches in a way. However, with that, I am going to make mistakes. I've already made one. I've got like less than 20 videos and I'm already like, that's what, okay, I misunderstood this and I already talked about this. I don't remember which video, but I did talk about this like I think last week. So with that said, I want to start this whole video by saying, 1, I reserve the right to make mistakes. 2, I reserve the right to correct myself. So I will be wrong. I will be wrong more often than I am right. That's just how it is. And I will correct myself when it's warranted. And also, if I don't correct myself, that means that I feel that I'm not wrong. And a lot of people will really, really not be okay with that sometimes. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna make mistakes. And I'm a writer. I'm supposed to say controversial things. I'm supposed to say things that make people think and kind of rock the boat of society a little bit, because that's the point of being a writer. It's partially like getting people to, you know, find their purpose and move forth in a way that's in pursuit of, you know, the grandness of their life, the best life that they can possibly have. Find your purpose and start pursuing it. That's part of writing, is trying to inspire people. Another part of it really is to question things and to make people question things too, and not to teach people what to think, but to teach them how to think. And a good, well-written story will do that. It will not tell you, this is the themes that I'm trying to present to you. It will show you the story and then go, you know, you got this. You know what I'm writing about. I don't need to tell you every single theme throughout the story. You know. Ultimate rule of writing, show don't tell, right? And I'm gonna do 2 videos in the next 2 days, and then I'm gonna slow down on video making for a bit because I want to finish Symphony's Note. After 11 years, I think it's about time that I finish it. And I want to get to work on like actual TV analysis videos. So with my 11-year-old laptop that can't run an editor, so that's gonna take some time. In that time, I'm gonna try and record some vlogs and just post every now and then, but I'm gonna be a lot less consistent while I'm writing. When I go back to working on the video analysis, TV analyses video, I think I'm going to go back to vlogging more regularly like I'm doing now, but I'm going to do the editing for that instead of editing these videos. So these might run long. I don't know. Fuck. So how was I wrong? Humanness versus humanity. I had misunderstood, not the terms. The terms are pretty clear cut, but I misunderstood, I guess, the contrast between what divides us, like what separates us from the animals, right? So in my previous understanding of it, got a paper here I might read from every now and then, because I actually wrote this out because I was wrong, and I was like operating under that wrong assumption for like 9 months. So now that I actually have a better understanding of it, it's a lot more complicated, but I feel a lot better about it. So my previous understanding of what humanness was is, I said in a video, it's our animalistic nature, and that's true. But I was attaching more of a negative connotation to it, in the sense that I was kind of relating it more to aggression, you you know, violence, bloodlust, like hatred for your fellow man, as well as like aggression in sexual behavior, so like rape, abuse. I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to say on YouTube, but you know, and the way that I think that that would be humanness and not humaneness, like not something that we do that animals wouldn't do, because, you know, obviously people do stuff like that, but it's just, if we have the capacity for intelligent thought, then what are we doing these things, you know? Like, wouldn't we be better than being like so aggressive all the time kind of thing, right? And then another couple that I was thinking of were instant gratification, so like addictions, sex, drugs, food, social media, seeking the next dopamine hit, all of that. Again, you know, shouldn't we kind of rise above that? We're humans. We have this intelligence. We're at the top of the food chain, right? Like, that should be more of our animalistic nature. And same with low self-awareness and high emotionality. Like, we should be able to be civilized, you know, low, not necessarily low emotionality, but low impact of our emotions on other people. Like, we're not going to go out and yell at someone like right in their face because we're upset with something that happened, so just walk outside, find the nearest person and yell at them, right? But so so high emotionality I was kind of equating more to our animalistic nature, and the same with low self-awareness, because animals, there is a degree of self-awareness, but generally speaking, humans have the capability to really reflect on ourselves, and animals just don't have that. But they don't really have the capability to reflect in the same sense that we do, at least most animals don't, to our understanding. So that's me being PC there. And I was equating humanity with intelligence as like kind of a driving factor that separated us between the animals. So like, we have a higher sense of self, of place, of understanding beyond our immediate observations. Like, we can kind of understand abstract concepts, right? And the complexities of life as a whole. Animals don't tend to, as far as we know, like ruminate about what happens after we die. Whereas we do have that. And we also have a better understanding of our emotions and their purpose in life and in ourselves. So you'd think that with that, we would have like kind of a higher emotional intelligence. As well as our compassion, I was linking that to a humane trait, which is like our level of collective compassion coupled with the world we built. The world we built being intelligence driven, because, you know, we're able to connect the way that we have, which is compassion, but like socializing kind of thing. But because we're so smart, we weren't just like, oh, we connected and now we were all in huts. Like, we connected and we built a world, and because we built this world, we can have tremendous amounts of compassion. We can try and save species that are going extinct, and that's something that we don't see in animals, because essentially we're at the top of the food chain and they're not. That doesn't really have to do with the differences between us, but it's how we use those differences, right? And our desire to do good in the first place. Like, lately, the sympathetic bad guy has become a huge trope in TV. Like, there can't just be a bad guy for no reason. Like, the villain cannot just like fur coats and want to destroy all these Dalmatians. I'm trying to choose my words wisely. But yeah, that can't be the bad guy. The bad guy has to have motivations. They have to be sympathetic, because we understand as a species, most people who do bad things really are trying to do good things. They just don't know how, or they're doing them wrong. And when you think of it like that, that's kind of really sad, not evil, you know? And even so, that can be how evil forms. Like, just because you don't want to be doing bad things doesn't mean you're not doing bad things. So if you are, that's how it is. There's like, okay, you might be sympathetic, we might all understand why you're doing this, but it doesn't change that your actions are bad, you know? And that's a level of compassion that and like I said, this was my previous understanding of it. So I didn't think that other animals like could really even grasp that level of compassion, right? Of being sympathetic with somebody who hurt you, or just any of this, the high intelligence, high emotional intelligence, and all of that stuff. Then it occurred to me, and I'm going to read this because I wrote it down once and I don't feel like figuring it out again. Intelligence is not the same as emotional intelligence, and humans display a wide range of both. While our collective understanding has evolved so we objectively know infinitely more than most animals, fact-wise, animals' emotional intelligence can rival our own. Intelligence is thus part of humanness too. So humanness isn't just like a lack of intelligence. It's perhaps that like humanity is like perhaps that je ne sais quoi that makes us human, that separates us from like why were we given speech? Why were we given this level of intelligence? Why can we rearrange rocks into technology, right? But other animals can't. So what exactly separates us? But in doing that, first off, I'd equated humans to basically Vulcans, which is not right. Secondly, I disregarded all the good things about our animalistic nature. So I wanted to just take a minute and do this video and explain, you know, whenever I said, and it's true, I have faith in humanity, and I said I have no faith in humanness, and I was wrong. I have absolute faith in humanness. Our humanness is our desire to play and our desire to, you know, like go meet someone and fall in love, and that's part of our animalistic instincts. And hell, even aggression. That was the main thing that I said in like as a negative to humanness is our aggression is bad. It's not actually bad. Aggression being unchecked and not in control is terrible and dangerous. But our actual aggression, which comes from our human, our animal side, that's not a bad thing. Our aggression is what will allow us to protect future generations. Our aggression is what will protect us in some really, really, really trying times. All of these characteristics, it's the same with every emotion. Anger, sadness, happiness, doesn't matter what it is. All of these emotions matter for more than just what you're feeling in that moment. They are important and they help us. Like I said, we have a greater understanding of emotions and their purpose in us and in society. And the more that we understand emotions, our emotions are animal. Like our understanding of it might not be, but our emotions themselves are animal. So the more that we understand them, that doesn't take us away from like being animals up to like, oh, now we're divine creatures. Like, no, it just actually helps us connect more with our animal side. And our animal side is the side that wants to go outside and it's like wants to go experience new things, and maybe some of us want to stay in our comfort zone, you know, whatever it is. All of these driving factors, that's our humanness, not our humanity. And humanity can have a negative connotation. Like I said, I was only looking at it through a positive lens when all of this intelligence, like I said, the sympathetic bad guy, can get really out of hand really quickly, and it can lead us into being, you know, people who think that we have a right to say who stays on this planet and who shouldn't. Stuff like that. And that's not okay either. That's not a humane version of humanity, in my opinion. So whenever I say things, and like I said, I'm going to do a video on my faith in humanity because I feel like there aren't enough people that have that kind of mentality anymore. And it's not that I want everybody to agree with me and I just want to switch the whole view of humanity. I'm really sick of people like saying humanity is parasites and then wondering why they have such low self-esteem. You're insulting yourself when you say that. Humanity is us. This is it. YouTube is humanity. The stack of books that I piled my camera on is humanity. Everything from the walls to the supermarket is humanity. Like, we have done so much amazing stuff. And I really want to do a video that explains why, you know, we should have faith in ourselves more than calling ourselves parasites and saying like, well, Mother Earth is trying to wipe us off the planet. No, if our, you know, Mother Earth heard us talking like that about ourselves, she'd be crying. I'm saying this as a mother, but even if your kids lose their way, it's Iroh from freaking Avatar. Like, even if your kid loses his way, you don't go like, okay, well, I'm just gonna wipe him off the planet. Maybe some, like, Old Testament God would do that, but not Mother Earth. Not that I believe in Mother Earth, but, you know, the ideals of what they are, right? And Mother Earth is, in the idea of it, a mother. And a mother would not look at her kids like, oh, you think you're a parasite? Well, I agree with you. I'm gonna wipe you off the planet. No, it's like, oh, you've lost your way. I can't lead you to the, I can lead you to the drinking water, but I can't make you drink, you know, that kind of thing. We've lost our way. We need to get it back, but it doesn't mean that we're parasites. And my faith in humanity will never falter just because some fucking psychopathic people think that they get to define who we are as a collective, because that's not the case, and that's never going to be a definition that I subscribe to. Nope. But to come back to my original point, humanness itself is not bad, and I vilified it unjustly, and I wanted to go back and correct course. Humanness is, whenever I thought of that, it's our desire to play, I just kind of went like, oh, and I couldn't stop. Like, when we fall in love, a lot of it is playing. Like, the more that I think about it, I'm like, oh my god, I really gave humanness a bad rap here. And, I really, and this, I want to be mindful of what I say on the internet. I don't want to say something that, like, if I disagree with it a week later, I'll just be like, whatever, just leave it. Like, no, I want to pay attention to what I'm saying, and I want to learn. I want to learn from my own thoughts, but also from putting them out there, because whenever you put a thought out there, sometimes it's like, you don't even realize that it has this problem, and it might not even be anyone else that points it out to you. It might be like everybody agrees with you, and then you're just kind of like, I didn't realize until I said this to more than one person, but I disagree with me. I've had that happen on Facebook where I've posted something, then everyone's agreeing, and I'm just like 2 days later like, I already disagree with this meme. I have like 100 likes. I already disagree with it. I don't want to rock the boat, alright? You know, like that kind of thing. So in this video series and these vlogs about theories and getting my life back on track, and the TV analyses and my publishing books and all of that fun stuff, I'm going to be very, very conscientious of what I say, and I'm going to try and be mindful of when I make mistakes, because it's going to happen. I'm very okay with that, but I also don't want, it's like I started saying at the beginning of all of this stuff that happened in the world in the last 3 years, at the beginning of 2020, if you start an equation off with 2 + 2 = 10,000, then you're never going to get the answer right. So I don't want any of these videos to end up being like 2 + 2 = 10,000, then I'm going from there, and I've just got all the wrong answers. I want to consider what I put out here, and I want to ask for feedback and stuff, but I'm not at that point yet. I'm not even at the point where I'm sharing these videos with people. I will get to that point. And I really appreciate everyone who's watching already. That's just amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm like I said, if I'm going to be pursuing this career in any way, then I absolutely need to reserve the right to be wrong and the right to make mistakes. And I will absolutely look foolish and say controversial things. That is just day in the life. But as long as I can be wrong and correct myself, then that's not a problem, because I will absolutely make mistakes that I don't think are wrong, and I will not correct. And if that's the case, then that's fine. But whenever I do think that I'm wrong, I will promptly just take a minute and go, okay, I fucked it. So anyways, that's the video today. It's partially about humanness versus humanity, partially about correcting oneself when one's wrong. So I am getting better at recording these videos, but every now and then my nerves like shoot up. Like, yeah, this weekend I got stoned for the first time in weeks, and it takes me like 2 days because I'll smoke and then it's like I'm just kind of out of it the next day, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I need like every couple hours just a little bit because it feels weird. It's like detoxing off of it, and then I'm good. So today I haven't smoked too much. I'm gonna smoke after this, but yeah, in those days where I do that, it's not paranoia or anxiety. It's just, well, it's kind of anxiety, but straight up like when I come down from that, when I'm like, I've been sober all day and okay, this is what I used to feel like all the time before I started smoking, so this is normal, right? And then it gets to a point where I'm just like, I don't like this. So then I don't want to do things like record videos and stuff because I don't like feeling like this, but I also know how it is the other way and I don't like that either. So it's finding a balance between like being stoned all the time, which I don't want to be, and being sober all the time, which I do want to be. I like the feeling of being sober, but it's like, it really is anxiety. I think whenever like the dip between, see, like I said, I reserve the right to be wrong, the dip between the day that I smoke and then the next day, like my anxiety just does that. And I don't know why. I will never understand why, nor do I particularly care why. It just happens. So let's move on. Let's figure out a way around it and just adjust. So tomorrow I'm going to do a video on the illusion of time. And then after that, I'm going to take a break and finish Symphony's Note. So then whenever, like I said, I might do some vlogs in the interim, but whenever I start vlogging again regularly, my book will be done. So, and that I think is going to be a regular occurrence. If I ever like stop making videos regularly, it's going to be because I'm working on a book. So at least there's hopefully going to be some consistency there. Anyways, this thing dragged on for a while, eh? Okay, but my camera time's out after 30 minutes, so I know it has not been 30 minutes. All right, peace out.